Yep, yep, yep. I'm here again. Good to see you as we close out December, right? This has definitely been a December to remember. If I can go, if I can talk about an old wrestling pay-per-view by NWA WCW back from, I believe, the late 80s. Could be wrong, could miss a couple of years here and there, but I believe so. December to remember. I believe it was a Starcade, but we're not here to talk about that. Just were memories and stuff. Just the memories. When I think about December, remember how that flows in language. How that's like it mimics each other. It sounds the same. Similarities, right? But think about this. And let's do something different. We used to do a show we haven't did for a bit. It was called On the Contrary, and this is On the Contrary. And we talked about the contrary parts of ourselves that seem to be at times challenges for the other side of us that seems to be in another place, wanting to go to another place. And then you have the one that challenges you, which actually is a part of you connected to you. Some have called it your dark side, or in doing the dark work on themselves. I've kind of named it the contrary one, that which is contrary to being the opposing factor to yourself, but really is connected to you. And I was thinking about how powerful that is. So we're going to do it on the contrary. And on the contrary today, right, we're going to talk about this phrase. A few words, but it's on the contrary. And how this riles up your contrary one when it was said to you, right? I'm going to give you a perspective of another perspective of it, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to show you how some of this stuff can work to help you raise that frequency, balance that frequency, that harmonious vibration, right? That is a harmony. When you're in harmony, you sing and you play a tune, right? You play a tune, you're on, they say, being on notes, right? Complementing each other in the joyous sound or the frequency vibration you're sounding off on. But what I'm going to talk about, there's an old saying that somebody would tell you, and that would be, "Shut your trap." Woo! Shut your trap. And you go, what's that mean? Well, we know in the past it meant somebody telling you to shut up, right? Be quiet, hush, don't talk, and stuff. And most people believe there's a way that you would present that in the way you would say that somebody that would be rude, right? That saying certain things like shut up, shut your trap is really being a rude. But I'm going to tell you how rude really can be an aspect of rudiments. Oh yeah, we break down the English casting system of language into how you can use it for your benefit, because even if you can bring you low, the opposite of bringing you high is the opposite. On the same plane. Pole. On the same plane. Pole, right? So I was really looking at it. It hit me, that word. But that phrase of words, right? Let's look at it. What is it? Shut your trap. So it's really three word phrase or sentence of like a command or telling somebody to do something, right? That many would say rude, but think about it. When we get a higher view of the perspective of this launching and opening up, like, you ever seen those hats militaries would wear, or those helmets or those glasses they would wear, and they have the light in their infrared and they can see in the dark? That's you and your third eye. Open that. Open it, open it, open it, open it. Let it start seeing other perspectives. We see it all the time with a perspective in this language. So when I say, look at this, when I tell you shut your trap, meaning I'm actually giving you some wisdom and some instruction to shut a trap, meaning a trap is something that you set for yourself when you don't shut it. Because that trap is really connected to a portal, your mouth, which is a portal, a door. A door, it is. Come on now. We don't eat burger. We don't eat Gerbers no more here. This ain't the Gerber channel or the Simulac. We're not doing a lacking. We're not running a simulation that's lacking, right? Look at those words. Break them down, man. Break them down. Break them down. Etymology, babies. You've got to start incorporating etymology because this is science of words and distinguishing words. This is lighting it up. You start seeing perspectives and realms. So what I'm saying by shutting your trap is really telling you a trap is yours. If you don't shut the trap, you're the one that will get caught in it. Hence, an old-time saying that I've always held dear to my heart that I heard from an old-timer a long time ago. An old-timer. Son, you know why you got one mouth and two ears? No, why? Because you need to hush, shut the trap, and listen. Listen twice as much as you talk. That's the trap. When people really say shut your trap, start looking at the engineering going in that you got to look at. Yeah, it could be the tone somebody says, could be angry, but do you getting what's really being said? Because sometimes you were told that they meant shut up. But I'm telling you, look at this from the perspective of shut your trap means shut that trap that you can set for yourself by the things you need to say. Because just like you really can't read and listen or talk at the same time, you can't. You cannot listen, which is the most important thing to hear what's happening. And if you're talking, you don't hear fullness what you should be hearing. You can't. It's impossible. It don't work that way. You got to learn how to roll your functions. Meaning you got to know how to use your preciseness of use your tools of how you function as a person. This is knowing yourself. It's part of knowing yourself. I was looking at it, I've used a lot of technology stuff here of being technical. We're technical. These words are technology. Your technology, how everything made outside of you that we see that's the controlling aspect of every aspect is really a foundation built around you, right? I guarantee this is going to be a part 1 and 2 to this today. We're already at the 7:30 and I feel like I'm just kicking the ball off, right? So why I'm saying this is notice that the shut a trap. When you don't know how much you talk and don't listen, it's a trap. So really when you see that perspective, shutting the trap is really some insight words of protection for yourself, that's some wisdom. I know sometimes they don't know, it becomes just old habit. Somebody to be what you call rude, but rude also can be rudiments on the other side of it. Rudiments are foundational things for foundation. The rudiments, right? Rudimental. Rudiments. Rudiment, when I hear that word, even rudiment, I hear rudimental. It's like everything's connected to the mental, right? And so what I'm saying is shutting your trap is something that you need to apply to yourself. If you don't shut the trap is open and you will go through the trap. Because remember, there's a trap even within your own portal if you don't know how to use it, when, why, and how. And definitely when, where, and how. There's a time that is open. There's time those aspects are that you can get in and out. So there's a time to shut the trap because the portal's that portal's not the one you need to be opening. It's the hearing so you can listen, so you can hear. Because if you don't hear, you can't be here. You can't, which means you're not present. And that's what happens when somebody's talking all the time and somebody says, I can't have a conversation with you. It's not that conversation's not talking. It's big time of the foundation of a conversation is listening. The talking is giving usually feedback. If I'm counseling a lot of times, when I've had that aspect, because I did that for many years, guess what I don't do? I don't over talk. I'm all ears because I'm seeing where you're at by what you're telling me. And then when it's time to talk, I'm going to give you key words to help you with your feelings at that time you need the counseling for, depending on the situation or the situation, right? So I'm saying that to say this is these words and phrases that we say, oh, they're rude. Yeah, they're rudiments at times. Can somebody speak in a bad tone to be hurt your feelings? Yeah, but sometimes you got to put the feelings down and get what it's saying. And a lot of times people didn't really know what they were saying. I get that. But I'm telling you, when I start singing, I go, whoa, you got to shut the trap. When you listen, you're opening up other portals, which that's what you're receiving is hearing. And when you're hearing instruction, guess what? You're presently here. Well, maybe I don't need to do a part two. Maybe I'm just going to end this up real quick. This is on the contrary. And we're going to go on the contrary. Guess what it is? On the contrary. What is on the contrary? Shut your trap. This is D-Boy. Have a great day. I try to click this so much it'll go off. Let's just be real. Now I'm going to hit it again. If we go off, we go off. But you guys have a great day. I will return.